Podcast City Network.
What is up, second rounders and also fellow Podcast City Networkers out there?
What is up, everybody? This is Big Money Eddie, and to my left...
It's Ashley Stashbox.
To my right, sorry.
Where are we?
Where are we? We are at the 1-year anniversary. Right there, with the camera right there.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, guys. I'm not used to a camera anymore. Ever since Mr. Oh So Smooth from New York City, second round.
Mr. Johnny Tames.
Mr. Oh So Stroke. Ever since he left us and took the camera, I don't know where he is, but I'm sure he's watching somewhere. What up, Tommy? And like we just said, we are second rounds Florida edition, and we are chilling at City Limits Tap Room all day.
You know what's
all
fun?
Night.
All night, right? You know what's funny? I'm so excited. We're at the 1-year anniversary. It's 1 year in the making. This is awesome, I have to say. I'm excited for all the shows that are going to be out here.
There's going to be live music in a little bit.
So before us was our sister, Jade Phoenix.
Jade Phoenix.
Hey.
Hanging out.
She's hanging out. She was interviewing the captain of this marvelous enterprise called Podcast City Network, Mr. Everett Lee himself. So shout out to him and all his amazing work. Thank you so much for having us.
Who's playing producer right now? I don't
He's
have
playing
to do
our producer.
shit.
I feel.
It's so nice.
I feel naked. Like we're not touching anything.
I know. I don't have
need
a
to
laptop
touch
in
myself
front of
a
me.
little bit
People
now.
can actually hear me this time.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun.
I'm excited.
So Ashley, what is up?
I am sipping on a Pepsi. We're standing outside. I'm trying to get some of the warmth from the fire pit behind me onto my
It's a little
my
bit.
downtown area.
Baby,
but
it's
it's not working.
cold outside.
Yeah, it's alright.
I'm drinking Yingling because Mr. Big Money Eddie always drinks Yingling, and I have my little picture here. Yeah. So I'm super excited. So how about you? How's this week been for you?
This week's been good. Been watching a lot of Netflix, a little bit more than I would have liked.
Oh, really?
A lot of Netflix and eating a lot of sushi. But that's just me. That's just my steez, and that's just what I be on. So.
You know what I've been watching on Netflix recently? I've been watching. I haven't finished it. The Ted Bundy tapes.
And that's actually what we're going to be talking about. Because I just finished the Ted Bundy tapes last night.
You did?
And I feel like it warrants a discussion. And I can tell Netflix is definitely hyping up for Zac Efron going to be starring in the new Ted Bundy biopic. I always
the
wonder if
biopic. Yeah.
Biopic. I think biopic sounds better.
Biopic sounds like a
medical thing.
It's an eye disease.
I
You're
had
a
to get a
biopic.
biopic.
You're biopic. So you're dancing.
I'm so bad at the camera
You're
thing.
doing the little
I think
booty
I
bump?
should just stand here. That way I'm always facing a flipping camera.
So here's the thing. You know, Netflix is doing this whole thing with Ted Bundy. They're doing. They did Mindhunters.
They did.
So
I'm waiting for that. Season 2, they promised us, is going to be coming out this year. So I can't wait. They left me hanging with that.
But I love that show because what I love about that show is if you watch that show, that's a good prep to see the Ted Bundy tapes.
100%.
Because you see that show and you're seeing, because when they talk about that, why they couldn't figure out that Ted Bundy was a serial killer is because that wasn't a thing.
The term serial killer hadn't even existed yet, which is insane to me. Because they literally called up the FBI and they were like, we don't know who's doing this. And they're like, we don't even have profiles yet. We're still making criminal profiles, which is so crazy.
Yep, because, well, back then they were, pursuing communists. They were pursuing mafiosos, the mafia and all that. So they were moving away from that and they were focusing now on, real criminals, like real assholes. So...
But here's the thing that really kind of bugged me about the Bundy tapes was that I had no idea how pale some people were. I just got flashed out of the corner of my eye. I see you. You may not know I see you. My peripherals all over the place. Anyways, no, but I had always heard about Ted Bundy growing up.
Yeah.
I think it was him, Dahmer, and Gacy were kind of lumped into this like evil.
The unholy trinity of serial killers.
And it's funny,
yeah.
South Park even referenced it in an episode called Hell on Earth 2006. It's when Satan's throwing this super sweet 16 style Halloween party.
Yeah.
And he wants this crazy freaking dessert, and it's a Ferrari cake. And so Satan sends John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Ted Bundy to go pick up the cake, and they just start murdering the baker and cutting people out. It's hilarious. But
South Park,
I didn't know how twisted Ted Bundy was, or how many times he escaped prison.
See, to me, that's the thing that always gets me. Like, I read people really well, and even when you see his interviews and things, there's something off.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, and you might say, well, no, because of course,
Okay.
once you see the horse's balls, it's a male. But it's a little bit more like you read it. There's something shady about this individual.
But and that's what everyone was like confused by, because we've all met creeps, we've all met weirdos. And we're like, this guy could totally kill somebody.
Yep.
Ted Bundy wasn't that guy.
No.
He was well-spoken. He was educated. He's the type of guy where you meet him at a bar and you're like, yeah, it's just a normal guy.
He wanted to be a politician, and it makes total sense because
Which is even so much more twisted. That he wanted to go into politics, but loved butchering women, like only women. That was his bag, which is
Well, you see, at least for me, you see it in the when he starts interviewing, when the reporter asks him, "Hey, I need your professional opinion about this," and he starts explaining what the trauma of this. He's basically explaining himself, and he let loose, but he was describing it like poetry, like this was some sort of art.
Do you think with him it's more of like a multiple personalities thing? He doesn't think he's the one that's actually doing it. Like it's another person. Like he has an idea that he's involved, but in his mind it's Santa Claus, or I don't know, whatever his freaking
Backflation?
Whatever his thing is.
Okay, there we go.
Like whatever his alter ego's name is. Do you think maybe it's like one of those?
Well,
or do you think he's just so sophisticated mentally that he has created this like other world in his mind that he's a part of?
See, I don't think so. I think it's the voices in his head, but not so much that. I mean, I don't know because I've never been in that situation, but like whenever you get that voice in your head that says like you should do this fucked up shit,
yeah,
and you go like, no, fuck no, like I'm not, like.
Mine's not that loud. I wish it was louder.
No, mine.
No, actually, stop.
But the thing is, I think he attributes that to that voice is too loud. Like that voice was too loud, and he had no control over that impulse. It was an impulse that overtook him. I don't, and he, as he described it, and that I think it's the first episode where he starts describing his professional take on these murders and what's happening, right? You start thinking about this shit, and he starts saying like, no, it's an impulse, like this person, like he starts describing it, and it sounds more like an impulse more than Ted Bundy #2 shows up. Like,
what I really dug was how the psychologist got him to talk about it.
Yes.
They were like, he's literally just feeding us this bullshit about his childhood and how it was so great, and summers in the lake and fishing, and they're like, all right, he's not talking about the thing everybody wants to talk about.
Yep.
So how can we get him to talk about it? Ask him for his psychological advice on who he thinks could have done this, and he doesn't shut up. He literally just
gives it away.
He
gives it away.
His mouth, just diarrhea of the mouth. Oh, I think this guy was twisted and he's educated. Bruh, you're describing you. Like
you're describing 100% you.
Yeah.
You. But here's the trick. I think that with these serial killers, the reason why we can apprehend them at the end of the day is because of that weakness, that ego.
Oh God, the ego was insane. this motherfucker got out of jail. This is the second time. The second time he got out of jail. He went across state lines, came to the lovely sunshine state of Florida, and brutally butchered a sorority house. Four girls of at FSU. That's so insane. And then that night went to another house and did the same thing to some other woman.
He was unleashed.
Ballsy.
Because I think at that
guy.
point he also, I think he knew his game was up, so he wanted to commit as much damage as possible. So
I saw that as like going out with guns blazing.
Yeah.
As horrific as that is.
It's more of a, like, you know, that Scarface scene where, you know, Al Pacino's character knows that he's about to, Tony Montana's about to die. He knows he's surrounded.
Yeah.
And he went like, "You want to play? Okay. Say hello to my little friend." And, you know, that's what Ted Bundy was doing. Like, he knew that he escaped the second time. That third time was not going to be good for him. So he went like, destruction for everybody.
When he first goes to court, he's his lawyer. And it's a joke. Because he's not a lawyer. He never finished law school.
No.
He basically took like 3 classes and was like,
He failed the bar exam.
I got this. And they're showing clips of him in court, and he's erratic. He's asking questions that, like, what does this have to do with anything?
No.
And then he fucks up. You can see it on the jury's face. They're so disgusted by this. He makes one of the cops that found one of his victims describe at least 3 times in great detail what she looked like when he found her. And you see him just like, now tell me, where were her arms? Like, he was getting off.
He was getting off on this.
Hearing this cop in the courtroom, in front of a jury, in front of a judge, just like licking his lips, listening to this guy talk about how he found his victim. Ugh, that's so bad.
Because, again, it's that creepo factor.
It's that confidence. It's that ego. It's like, yeah, we've met creeps that aren't that confident.
Nope. But then again, it's usually the people you would not suspect that would do these things.
People were telling, like, one of the women that was kidnapped by him, she got out. And she identified him. She was like, that's the guy that kidnapped me. That's Ted Bundy. He's the one that took me. And people at her job were like, no, are you sure? He doesn't look like he could. And that's what everyone said. He doesn't look like he could do that. He doesn't look like he would do that. That's so insane. And then you think about crimes like the West Memphis 3 and the documentary Paradise Lost. Those 3 kids were literally picked up for a horrendous murder of fucking 3 boys. All because they listened to Metallica.
Yep.
They wore black. It's just insane to me that we're just jumping. People just make decisions of people based off of their clothes. Again, that one's completely wrong. It's a little end of the spectrum, opposite end of the spectrum, but it's still like, really? He doesn't look like he could have done that. Oh, they look like they could have done it. Arrest him. That's just, no.
See,
what do I look like I could have done?
Nothing.
Other than robbed a Bass Pro Shops.
Well, me, I probably robbed either a bar or a candy store. Because that's
what
as
would
far
I
as
rob?
I go.
What could I rob?
What
would I want to rob?
What would I want to rob? Barnes and Noble.
Well, now that it's legal in Florida, I would probably rob a dispensary.
Could probably, yeah. Well,
Barnes and Nobles, get out of here.
Well,
what is it? 2002?
You've been.
I'm gonna rob an FYE.
You've been to my house. You can describe my house to the people at home.
Yeah, you should rob a Hobby Lobby. Denver's hiding his face right now.
Yeah. No, that's true. It's like, I
probably shouldn't rob a dispensary. I should probably rob like the Valencia bookstore or something. Something I could use.
Yeah. Yes. I love books and things like that, and I have a couple of books on serial killers and FBI profiles.
I thought you were gonna say I have a couple of books on tape. I was like, nice.
Audiobooks are really good, and if we had Audible as our sponsor, then definitely we would sponsor them. But we're not sponsoring them because they're not sponsoring us yet. So Audible,
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're waiting.
I'm gonna get all these angles.
So my thing is, Ashley.
Okay.
Now, honestly try and not know that Ted Bundy is a serial killer, right?
Okay.
seeing him on the interviews and everything like that, would you consider him a normal guy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you find him a little bit off?
Not seeing the interviews and everything? No, I thought he looks like a guy that literally comes into my bar every other day. And I think that guy's a lawyer, too, now that I think about it. Weird. Odd.
But what is this whole fucking charisma about these guys? Like, that little, like, does he come up with big dick energy or something like that?
Kind of. I think, well, we don't know if Ted Bundy had big dick energy. Because if you remember in the documentary, he didn't have a girlfriend until he was like 21.
Yeah.
The forces of nature just got really mad about big dick energy. But it's okay.
That's the power of the dick, man.
We're going to keep talking about it.
That's the power of the dick.
What is big dick energy?
Well, big dick energy is the correct me if I'm wrong, it's that assumption, that aura, that some guys have this amazing huge cock with them.
It's that unspoken energy. You know it.
That security, like
you sense it.
Like you look at them and you go like, well, they're not attractive, but he could probably fuck me up in bed. Right?
So,
I mean, I don't know, because I'm not attracted to guys.
So this is a term that literally got popular because of Pete Davidson started dating Ariana Grande. And everyone was like, who is this weird kid, this tall, lanky motherfucker from SNL that's dating this, like, bubblegum princess pop star?
But she's also lanky, so just to be fair.
Because she's littles. They put her in those boots. They, like, put her up.
This is about your size.
Thank you. But she weighs like 50 pounds soaking wet, and she's only like 4'11". So everybody was like, what the hell is she doing with him? And then I found out that the rumor is he's got a big old thing. And I was like, really? And then I found out, again, that this is this term that's going around called big dick energy.
You know who I think has big dick energy?
Who?
Mark Anthony.
I could see that. Because he's Rico Suave. Like,
you can see him.
You can't deny it.
And you see him and you go like, how does this motherfucker get a Miss Universe with Dayanara Torres?
He had J-Lo.
And then
he put
J-Lo.
twins in J-Lo.
He put twins. You see that ass?
Did you see how I did that for twins?
Yeah, that's...
He did
twins.
Two.
1 and 2.
1, 2. There you go.
So if you want triplets, you hump 3 times and that's it?
And if you want a little one, you do a half pump. Like a midget.
You do a midget.
I'm sorry. Also, we're not politically correct or safe for work, so I hope nobody's listening to this at
At work?
The government building. Just kidding, y'all striking.
They're going to be striking. They're going to like, stop it right now. Stop. The Lollipop Girl is going to come in and just take this off.
But you know who else I think has big dick energy?
Who?
Evan Peters from American Horror Story.
Why? I don't feel that.
I do.
I don't.
Because I don't think if he was an actor, he'd be getting any tail. I don't think he's good looking on TV, but if you saw him working at an Abercrombie or a Wetzel's Pretzels, you wouldn't think twice.
I think he would probably work in Wetzel's Pretzels.
I could see him as a Wetzel's Pretzels.
Not Abercrombie. Zac Efron could work in Abercrombie and Fitch.
He could. Did you see the pictures of him as Ted Bundy?
Yeah. They're similar.
That's a Ted Bundy I would take home. Whether or not I would wake up the next morning is another question, but I was like, ooh, if Ted Bundy really did look like Zac Efron back in the 80s, I get it.
Well, you've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
He's not...
He's not... His features are a little too deep set to be considered classically handsome for me.
Yeah. What major actor, though, do you think...
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
He doesn't have big dick. He doesn't have big dick.
I don't even know what the question was. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
What actor do you think has big dick?
Adam Driver. I bet Kylo Ren has a huge one.
Well, you see his nose. If his nose is any indication, you know.
Every time I say he has a huge one, Denver makes me look right into the camera. Has a huge one. Has a
big,
huge...
humongous.
I bet Adam Driver's got a big one.
Yeah, Adam Driver could have a
Shia LaBeouf. BDE. Total big dick energy.
Really?
Not so much anymore. Because I don't know if you remember what he did like a few years ago.
Nymphomaniac?
he stole that comic book, that
Yeah.
indie comic, and
Yeah.
tried to sell it as a freaking script
Yeah.
for like a movie.
But that's not big dick energy. That's just dumb.
No, I'm saying like he's not so much big dick energy anymore because he's kind of a piece of shit now. Everybody
Yeah,
hates
well,
him.
there's also the.
Well,
We got people coming out all over.
I'm being surrounded on all
All corners.
very intense.
Very intense.
Whoa.
But my thing is, see, the thing about big dick energy is, I feel that there are people out there, like, to me, Jim Carrey has big dick energy.
No,
No?
I don't think he does.
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't see it.
But now my question is, why not?
Aziz Ansari.
He's Ansari?
I bet Aziz Ansari.
Genetics do not favor him.
I know, but I'm saying it's his energy. It's the confidence he puts out there.
You see, but the
It's
confidence.
Randy. Yeah, that. Oh,
The
that.
confidence is one thing. Jude Law looks confident.
It's
and
all
he's
about
packing
the
a-
energy, though.
a
It's
hat
not about
of
what they're
Vienna
really
sausage.
packing in there. It's the energy that exudes. I don't know if Pete Davidson's got a big one or not, or it's the energy
Well,
that they
to
put
be
out.
to be fair, think about this. He's dating Ariana Grande.
Not anymore.
Well, he was.
I could have done a whole episode about that breakup.
That whole drama and all that shit. Bleh. But the thing is, Ariana Grande is like what, 4'11", 50 pounds?
Yep.
He could have a 5-incher and it would look humongous in her little hands.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, Misty, you're so big.
I don't think but then again, I don't think it was because literally her next song was "Thank You Next."
So no big dick energy. So.
It's something to think about. It's more food for thought. So now that we've kind of given everybody a clue as to what BDE is, now maybe you'll be more aware of it. Maybe you'll be at the gas station and be like, you know what? That gas station attendant has some big dick energy.
Yep.
And maybe he'll be a little bit nicer with you when you're picking up your Newports and your Amp energy drink and you're on your way to work. Just give him a nod and be like, BDE, acknowledges your BDE. Because I have BDE. I think I have big dick energy.
You do. You actually have a humongous one. It's hidden under the table.
I have two. I said that in the last episode. I have two, and they literally just sit on top of each other.
It's
You
huge.
should hear me run, man.
Right
It's a
now, I'm
fucking
kicking
hoop.
it. You can't see it, but I'm kicking it right now. Does it hurt?
They could see it.
Does it hurt?
We're on camera this time.
Oh, right.
All right, well, we're going to make way. We got another show coming up. I'm excited. It's the Chris Carnage show. I hope he's ready.
You know, Chris
It's
Carnage-
really hard to follow a big dick energy conversation.
No, Chris
I'm gonna be
Carnage
honest.
has to talk about big dick energy. I'm just saying
He
right
better.
now. I'm challenging.
needs me to come on and help, I
I am
will.
challenging right now Chris Carnage to talk about big dick energy. And
won't.
yeah, he will.
You won't.
He
I
will.
don't know what I'm
he
doing.
will. And he will talk about who he thinks has big dick energy right here.
Denver's literally trying to break my neck today. I'm gonna die. All right, well, we are out. We got to make way for the Chris Carnage show.
The
So
second
if you
round
are
is
in
flying.
Land, make sure you stop by City Limits Tap Room. We're gonna be here till midnight. Raging, live music. JJ McGuire is here. There's a food truck here. Games, fun, prizes, raffles,
And more pictures.
And Eddie's drinking a pitcher. So Ashley Stashbox signing out.
Big Money Eddie signing out, folks. Love you.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.